I had to come back on. A lot of people hit me up saying that wasn't enough. Let's talk. So you know what? I said, you know what? Let me jump back on. Because in reality, I don't think that was enough. You know, I tell everybody when I say the word, I'm frustrated. You know, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated how the ostracizing of America on its people who helped build it. You know, when people say, what's the value of our lives? I say to myself, blacks helped build America. Immigrants helped build America. And I'm just talking facts. America is built up of immigrants. Their labor, their sweat, their sacrifices. So in reality, I refuse to make myself feel like that someone else is inferior because they control the narrative of the country. That black dollar, people need to understand the power of that black dollar. You understand? People don't understand the power of unification and how if we come together as one, what we can do with our money. You understand? But we say to ourselves, there's too much oppression. Because it's oppression because of the fact that you allow your oppressor to have the power. How do you control the power? Again, who you spend your money with, is who has the power. So if I'm not spending my money with the oppressors or the racists or the Klansmen, you know, there's a lot of companies that Ku Klux Klan are funding. KKK, they fund financially. But yet and still we purchase these things from these companies because of the fact that we don't do our research on knowing we're spending our money on. And I'm saying just because it's convenient don't always mean it's convenient. Learn who you're spending your dollar with. Learn who you're spending your money with. And understand that we control the narrative of the country financially by far. If blacks stop spending their money in America, we'll crush the economy. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's not opinion, it's facts. You understand? They want to open this country back up because of the fact that all of those wealthy people, they're losing money. They're losing money. They're losing money. You understand? So it doesn't even matter. You know, I was talking to a lot of health specialists. They said almost 70% of the people that's passed away are people that look like me. Is it because of the fact that we're sickly? Or is it because of the fact that we're getting less medical attention? Whoever agreed that it's medical attention, please raise their hand. Because I think it's medical attention. You understand? It's sad that we have to really tear up a whole damn country in order to get respect. And you know the sad part is, and I seen my big bro Buster put it up today. He said, blacks aren't asking they're asking for equality. They're not asking for revenge. And that's reality. We're not asking for revenge. We're asking for equality. If you've noticed, for the most part, there haven't been no shootings or no killings. Okay, they looted. They tore up a couple stores. So what? So what? So you telling me Hermes or Gucci losing a pair of clothes is worth a man's life? You think I care about clothes and looting? I care about that man's life more than anything. Because when I look at that man, I see myself. The fear. You know, it's crazy that I'm a taxpayer. But yet and still, if I get pulled over, I have to be worried that something might happen to me because of the fact that I'm a black man. So it's not about the level of respect I do or do not talk to the officer. It's a level of respect that he has for me as he approaches my car door or my car window. So I'm at fear. I'm in fear because of the fact that I could be 100% in the right, but yet still feel 100% in the wrong. Listen to that statement. I'm 100% in the right, but yet and still feel so 100% in the wrong because I'm a black man driving a nice car. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? You know, I shouldn't be fearful of that. I should be able to know that my black son could walk the streets and not worry about if somebody pull him over, what will happen to him. You understand? And these are the conversations that a lot of people aren't having. You know, one thing narrative we have to start pushing is not all white people are racist. They aren't. And that's reality. They aren't. But yet and still, the bad apples, they make them stand out a little bit more because of the fact that there's a lot of them. But again, they were taught that. You know, racism is a teaching. It's an indoctrinated mindset that's been captivated by, basically indoctrinated into their culture to the point where it's not even malicious no more. It's just natural reaction of how they act now. And it's sad. what I'm saying? And it's sad because in reality, we need to understand what's the agenda that's being pushed in this country. They're teaching all the wrong things to our community. We have to stand with each other. We have to unite and understand that black dollar means a lot more than we give it power. A lot more power. You understand? What you purchase says volumes about yourself. So if you spending money with the oppressors, don't be mad that you're oppressed, because they're going to use your black dollar and keep oppressing you. Keep oppressing you. See, I tell everybody, in order to change the narrative of this country, we have to create a system within a system to make it work. The Jews have done it. The Indians have done it. The Asians have done it. Even the Hispanics have done it. To the point where they make their money recycle or regurgitate their money in their community. But yet and still, we the ones that keep spending our money. They said, I think they said a dollar stay in a black community for 45 minutes. A dollar stays in a black community for 45 minutes. That's sad. You know, and this is the agenda that's being pushed because of the fact that we too busy want to be accepted. We want to be accepted. We compromise ourselves in order to be accepted by who? Someone that will never accept you. Never accept you as an equal. They won't. They will never see you as an equal. They tolerate. See, being tolerable is not making you an equal. I'm tolerating you because of the fact that I see a benefit of you. But in reality, you're not an equal. But yet and still, we stand so hard to try to be an equal to people that will never see us an equal. You know, and the sad part is, when you understand who you are and you love who you are, you start pushing a different narrative. In order to change, we have to change our people's mindset. Psychologically, we have to change them. You know, we have to build up each other. We have to elevate each other. Let them know, like, you can't say my sister is a queen and my brother's a king, but yet and still you treat them like garbage because you may have more resources than them. You know, that's only material. But psychologically, you may not be more subconscious or more level-headed than that person because you have more money. Money don't make you a king. Money don't make you a queen. It's how you give back to your people and elevate your communities what makes you a king and a queen. You ain't nothing if you got all this money and you ain't helping nobody else. To me, that's nothing. You understand? And anybody that stand with and stand for anything and any kind of integrity, they want to help out anybody, opposed to themselves. The world is not about self-preservation, because at the end of the day, it still takes 6 to carry your casket. You still got to carry. It still takes 6 people to carry your casket. So let me see you carry your casket by yourself. You understand? And the mindset has to change. The narrative has to change. Again, I sit back and I observe. I'm conflicted. I'm on the fence. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I'm not into the politics. You know, I'm not a politician, and I'm not going to pretend to be one. But yet and still, it does bother me seeing them run up in people's stores and steal. I'm going to be honest with you. But a part of me don't see it because of the fact that I'm like, okay, you took a life. They took clothes. They took sneakers that can be replaced because it's material and it's overpriced anyway. Let's talk about the overpricing they doing in this country. They make you pay for it. They said the average pair of Jordans costs about 68 cents to make. So you're paying $200 for a pair of Jordans that cost 68 cents to make because it says Jordan on it? Come on, man. Change your mindset. Think I care about some goddamn Fendi, Louis, Prada, Gucci, Fendi? I don't care about none of that stuff because that stuff don't mean anything. Because at the end of the day, when you wake up every day and you see your position of your family and your children, and you understand that you're not being the best possible you could possibly be, you should be more caring about that opposed to the fact that I got on Gucci, Louis, Prada. And again, I'll say this statement that my mom always used to tell me as a kid. She said, if you take a dirty person and you put expensive clothes on that person, what are they? It says dirty. So if you take a broke person and you put expensive clothes on them, what are they? Still broke. So the reality is, don't psychologically brainwash yourself into believing, because the mind is so powerful that you can believe anything you feed the mind. You keep feeding your mind foolishness, your mind will believe your own foolishness. You will believe it. You start subconsciously telling yourself something so much, it start becoming like a record. It start playing in your head. You can fool yourself to believe that you're more wealthy than you truly are. You can make yourself believe that you're more entitled than you truly are. See, I hate to say this, and I'm going to talk straight. The reason why most people succeed in America is because they look at themselves as a foreigner in a country they are foreign to. No matter what, you are an African in America. You're not a black man. You're not. They will never look at you. Even if the Constitution says you're 3/5 of a man. So in reality, they will never look at you as an equal. It's in the Constitution. So the reality of all things is, how do you expect them to accept you when you don't even accept yourself, knowing that you're from Africa? You're an African that happens to be in America. You were born in America, so it's just your birthright. But at the end of the day, you're an African. So your culture is African. My culture didn't start when I came to the Americas. My culture didn't start when I was in shackles. My culture didn't start when I was in my ancestors was in bondage. That didn't start my culture. That's by saying black. That means you only accepting the culture of here. What about your African culture, your roots? What about your roots and knowing who you are and being conscious and understanding? It all starts at home. I agree with you. But a lot of people don't see the narrative that's being pushed in this country. They don't see the narrative. You understand? My kings and queens, understanding a position in your family, you say volumes about how you feel about yourself. You understand? I look at a lot of dudes, they out here running around with all this self-preservation talk. Self-preservation, self-preservation, self-preservation. All they doing is doing for themselves. But in reality, I see their kids. And it says volumes about how you let your children walk around. You let your children walk around looking like losers. But you proud of yourself because you got on Fendi. So you say to yourself, I'm lit. But what about your kids? What about your family? What about your family? I made a sacrifice for my whole family and position my whole family. I ain't positioning just myself. You crazy? My immediates are well taken care of. And every day I make sacrifices to put them in a better position, in a better position, in a better position. Because at the end of the day, God has given me a gift. And that's called life. Everyone has a gift. Every day is life. As long as there's life in you, you can always change everything. You can't stay in no bad position and act like that's cool. You choosing to stay in that position. The reality of all things is, yeah, we started the race in the back, but at the end of the day, I'm running harder than them. So when I get comfortable, I'm going to keep running hard. So you can't say, I'm saying my position is bad because of the fact that I started off in the back of the race. Yeah, you started off in the back of the race. What do you expect? See, the problem is you expect things to be different. See, I don't expect things to be different. I expect hardship. I expect me working harder. I expect to have to sacrifice. I expect to think better. I expect to move better. I expect everything to be harder in my life because I was conceived as a black man that happens to be a male in America. And I accept it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. Why are you ashamed of your birthright? Your birthright is strength. Your birthright is psychological thinking and loving and caring. See, the thing is, we don't come from hate. Hate has been indoctrinated into our minds because of the fact that it's the slave master's mentality that we've been indoctrinated into believing that we're supposed to hate each other. We're supposed to envy each other. We're supposed to be jealous of each other. That's not true. That is not me. That is not my culture. That is not my culture. See, when I see your mother, I look at your mother as my mother. When I see your father, I look at your father as my father. See, nowadays, you tell a kid, oh, I'm old enough to be your father. He look at you like, you ain't my dad. It's not what he's saying. He's saying that he's old enough to be your father. Or she's old enough to be your mother. Learn a different narrative. See, the culture has changed so much because of the fact that too many parents want to be their kids' friends. Too many, they want to be their homeboys. Maybe they didn't live, and now they're trying to live now through their children. And it's disgusting. But in reality, being a parent is a full-time job. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be my kid's friend. I'm my kid's father. And I'm comfortable being my kid's father. I'm not desperate for friends. I'm not desperate for friends at all. And I don't care who love or who don't love me. At the end of the day, I love me. And I love my people. And the ones that don't love me, I pray for their soul that they find peace in their heart. Because for some reason, there is no peace in their heart. These people go to sleep mad. They wake up mad. They go through their day mad. So they go to sleep mad. They wake up mad. And they go through their day mad. At the end of the day, and you're mad at all the wrong things when you need to look at the person in the mirror and be mad at that person. It's just what it is. Nobody can change your life but you. Nobody can do anything for you but you. Stop looking for handouts. Stop begging people. Oh, you don't want to put me on. Nobody gonna put you on. You gotta put yourself on. Get yourself lit. Get yourself lit. Worry about yourself. And you lit at everything you do once you understand that at the end of the day, you are becoming the better you. And if you being the best you could possibly be, you are lit. I don't care what nobody say. It is not meant for everybody to be billionaires. It is not meant for everybody to be millionaires. It is not meant. At the end of the day, you might be the first generation that changed the mindset of your families. So you say to yourself, I'm not winning because I don't have the money financially, but yet and still, you are the person that changed the position of your family psychologically. So you winning. You're winning. Understand what winning is. Winning is not about having all the money. Winning is not always about having a big house. Winning is not always about having a big car. What about the person that grew up in the projects but worked hard and got their kid into a better school district and they rent an apartment and they do it and they sacrificing every day, but the kids think great. The kids think so much better than they ever thought when they was growing up. So now that's winning. That's winning. Stop watching other people's blessings because you'll miss out on your own blessings. If you keep watching other people's blessings, you're going to see that you're missing out on your own blessings. You don't know what people go through every day to maintain the look. And I say the look because most people aren't who they portray. They're not. Most people aren't financially secure as they act like they are. They're not. But the fact of the matter is being comfortable in your own skin says volumes about who you are. See, I'm comfortable in my skin. So when I look at my sister, I say, hey sis, how you doing? Hey beautiful woman, how y'all doing? You understand? Because of the fact that I know who I am. That's why when somebody reach out to me, I reach back. Even when somebody don't give me anything, you know what they gave me? It makes me feel good when somebody reach out to me and ask me, yo, how can you help me? Yes, I can help you. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is the one thing I want you to understand. And this is the number one thing. Molding a mind is more valuable than giving money. Because the rule of life is if you give a poor-minded person $1 million, subconsciously they will go back to being poor because they never changed their mind. So the reality is giving somebody knowledge is more valuable than money. Stop overvaluing money. The black dollar is so powerful. And we have to understand by unifying ourselves, by standing united, by building with each other, by elevating each other, this is how you change the perspective of all the agendas that's being pushed. See, I hear a lot of people, they say, black men don't take care of children. I take care of mine. They say, oh, black men are always late. I'm never late. I'm always on time, and I'm conscious about it. You understand? So you got to understand the narratives that's being pushed. Stop allowing them to be your reality. Stop saying to yourself, you know what? They right. We all lazy. I'm not lazy. You lazy. And that's not a black thing because we don't come from a lazy culture. And that's reality. People choose to be lazy. So when people tell me that black people are lazy, I say, no, that you're lazy. Because you choosing to be lazy, so black people aren't lazy. You have a lot of us sacrificing, busting our behinds to get our families and put ourselves in better positions. So that's reality. You accepted the narrative that we're lazy. We're not lazy. You're lazy. I'm not lazy. I sacrifice. I work hard. I build. I elevate. And I'm willing to learn. See, my mother always said, being a student in the room, sometimes you have to be a student in order to be the teacher. How are you going to be the teacher when you haven't been a student? A lot of people need to go back to being a student again and learn and elevate their mind subconsciously and build. Stop looking at, I met people who haven't done real estate. They try to tell me about real estate. And I'm like, yo, be more open-minded to listening to other people. Become a student in life again. Because the way you've been doing it all these years, it may not have been right. Yes, you may have gotten to a point where you're doing decent, but you can do so much better if you open your mind again. See, having a closed mind is how you don't grow. You cannot grow with a closed mind. You have to open your mind and be receptive of new energy, new life beginnings. It's a new beginning. Every day you wake up, you can start all over. Start all over and say, I don't give a damn about the mistakes I made yesterday. They were meant to happen to make me who I am today. So at the end of the day, you could have been through hell and back, but yet and still today, you are still breathing and you have another chance to get it right today. And that's reality. So every time people be like, yo, but you did this and you did that, I'm like, yes, I did it because it made me the man I am today. And I'm proud of the man I see. When I look in the mirror, I smile. Every day I get up, I smile. I'm happy because I know for a fact where I've come through. I've been through a lot of dark, but yet and still now I'm starting to see light. So I don't care about the foolishness. I don't care about the dumb stuff. I don't care about my experiences. My experiences are what made me today who I am. And I'm proud of it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of nothing. I'm not ashamed of nothing I've been through. Only thing I'm ashamed of is I didn't accept myself a lot sooner. I wish I would have gave myself a fighting chance earlier. I wish I would have believed in myself a lot earlier. I wish I would have been around people that told me that you're a king. I wish I would have been around people that said, yo, keep motivating, keep elevating, keep growing. I wish I would have been around those kind of people a lot faster. That's my only problem. And I wish that I would have did it. But at the end of the day, everything happens in its own time. Whether I agree or disagree with it, everything happens in its own time. It is what it is. But back to that black dollar, man. That black dollar is powerful. That black dollar is so powerful. For all my people that know that black dollar, please put a black fist up and tell them like that black dollar is so powerful. So powerful. Please put up a black fist. Pump up that fist and let me know that you know that black dollar is so powerful. So powerful. But in reality, are you willing to understand the narrative that's being pushed on your people? For instance, it is comfortable. Like I did my stint in music, and I understand the music narrative. They use music to control minds. It's called conditioning. They condition you to think a certain way. My women, when you look at yourself, love yourself. Love yourself. And how do you love yourself? You put yourself in better positions to grow. What make you the value? That don't make you valuable. A man's acceptance should never be the value. The acceptance of you loving yourself should be the value. The value of you respecting yourself should be the value. Anything else is just an icing on the cake. But in reality, when you love who you see, you don't allow yourself to be treated a certain way. And that's reality. So when you say, oh, I love myself, I'm a queen, yeah, but yet and still you sleep with peasants and dudes that think a certain way, you just lowered your queenness. You lowered your queenness, and vice versa for men. You lowered your kingness. You understand? I hate to say this in reality, but with obtaining success, there will be casualties. There will be casualties. A lot of people will fall at the wayside because of the fact that subconsciously they couldn't come up to that level. They can't grow. And the reason why they can't grow, because they're too busy want to hear yes men. They want everybody to tell them yes. Yes, 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 yes. You doing good. Yes, yes. You lit, you this. That's not reality. You need to be around people that tell you the truth. That tell you the truth. That tell you the truth. How are you going to grow being around some people that don't even care about your growth? They only care about what's the next bottle we popping, what's the next trip we taking, what about the next investment we making that's going to position my family to do better? What about that? Those conversations? What about those conversations? What about the conversations that yesterday I was having that didn't help me yesterday, but the conversation I want to have today is going to help me today? But yet and still, we still talking about what we were talking about yesterday, but yesterday did nothing for us. See, that's the problem. We too busy spending time on yesterday. They say you'll fall forward. Keep looking back, walking forward. So if you keep looking backwards while you're walking forward, you're going to fall because of the fact that you're not looking forward. Your past is meant to be your past. The experiences that you've been through were meant for your journey to happen. Because now I'm pretty sure if you could sit down with the 21-year-old you, and whatever age you may be today, and sit with that person, I'm pretty sure you won't recognize yourself because you've changed so much. That's called evolution. We have to evolve. We have to grow. We have to mature. We have to, a lot of people, they not mature. They're not mature, and the reason why they're not mature is because of the fact that they spend all their time on foolish, childish things. People, places, things. The things you do, the places you go, and the people you be around are a representation of who you truly are. When people aren't looking, and what you do with your free time shows you who you are. And a lot of people don't want to accept it. See, when you up and you start realizing that the reason why I wasn't doing well in life was because of the conscious decisions I was making. And you start pointing, see, when there's no accountability and you're not being accountable for your actions, that's when you're going to always have a problem. You have to be accountable for your actions. You have to say to yourself, I did this to me. Whether it was a bad relationship, whether it was a poor job that didn't pay you right, anything in life, you did it to you. Don't you know that you give off the energy that you want back in your life? Do you understand that? The energy you give off in life will come back to you, whether you like it or not. If you keep pushing out negative vibes, the negative vibes will come. Somebody will answer that call that you keep putting out that negative energy. Somebody gonna want to try it. Somebody gonna want to see if you really like that. Somebody gonna want to see if you built like. And that's because of you. You understand? Don't you know that you meet some women, they say that, yo, every guy I ever been with, they all bad dudes. Maybe you give off a bad vibe that brings them bad men. Maybe you need to change the men that you're looking at. Maybe you are attracted to losers. And that's what you need to start saying. Maybe I'm attracted to losers. Maybe I see the same red flags every time, but I ignore them. Maybe I need to start holding myself accountable. Maybe I need to change the environments I look for my mate. Maybe I need to take my fishing rod, put on some new bait, and cast it into a different ocean. Because you keep bringing the same man in every single time. So that's reality. It's you. It's not the world. It's you. So stop saying the things that you got to understand. Looks fade over time. You understand? You can be the most attractive person in the world. When you start being around somebody so long and their maturity is not there, you'll lose interest. You'll lose interest. So what I'm trying to say to my people, that black dollar, man, we need to understand that we control the narrative of this country. Again, we have to create a system within a system because the system is already in place. In order to function in this system, we have to create our own system. And I hate to say this, but we have to make that black dollar work for us. And in order for us to do that, we have to support black. We have to be more black conscious. We have to be conscious of who we're voting for. We have to step out and go vote. We got to care about these things. Stop crying about the things in the country when you're doing nothing to change it. Again, stop crying about the things that's going on in this country when you're doing nothing to change it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take some questions. Man, anybody got any questions? Talk to me. I came back on the live because I got my DM was blowing up like, I wasn't done. You need to go more. Talk some more. Again, I can't be mad at a child for being a child. But I can be mad at an adult who's perpetrating or pretending to be a child. And what I'm trying to say is, some people subconsciously don't see that they're behaving and carrying themselves as a child because of the fact that they're engaged in foolish behaviors and immature things. You understand? How do you grow up? You grow up by being around people that's going to tell you about yourself. You grow up around being in things that make you and force you the evolution. You have to evolve. You have to grow. And you have to be accountable, people. Understand that the things that you support says volumes about us. We cannot complain no more about all of these things that's going on with our people, and meanwhile we the ones that's spending the money on these companies that don't give a damn about us. I don't want to say the company because I don't want to be misquoted, but the person said, I never meant for my brand to be for the urban community. When they say the word urban, that is a nice word, a way of saying black. I never meant for my clothes or my shoes to be given to the urban community or supported by the urban community. By saying urban, they're talking about black people. You understand? But yet and still we'll forgive these people. And we'll rock them. Why? Because it's fashion. And the reality of all things is, fashion doesn't say anything about how rich you are. Because I've noticed that in my endeavors and in my traveling and my meeting financially very, very stable people, they don't care about those things. So I learned that the agenda that's being pushed on my people was just to make us believe that we're lit, but in reality we aren't. Because I realized that a lot of people, they put up GoFundMe funerals or sell plates to bury their children. So I said to myself, hold on, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. They teaching us so wrong to think messed up. Everything about the way we think, we have to reevaluate everything we've been thinking. Because the things that they taught us are so wrong. They taught us wrong. They taught us to be proud of buying a new car but pulling it into somebody else's driveway. That's teaching. They taught us that, because we're not from the same area, we're not supposed to love each other. That's teaching. They told us if you wear nice clothes that you're rich. That's teaching, but it's not reality. It's not reality. We need to understand that I've heard people for years complain about that guy by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I've heard it for years and years and years and years, complain about Jordan. But we still support him. I don't even wear Jordans no more, man. Care about no damn Jordan. If I'm gonna wear something, I'm wearing LeBrons. I'm wearing those people that stand up for our people. You understand? It's not even about him being as a player. It's the stance that he stands with our people. You understand? And again, I tell my Spanish people, I don't see you as no different than me. You the same as me. You go through the same struggles as me. So some of those, the ones that fool themselves into believing they're Caucasian, they're crazy themselves. And I hate to say it, but in reality, we're in a country where we'll never truly be accepted. But the only way to accept us is by accepting ourselves. We have to understand that we control the narratives in our community. We need to police our communities. Mrs. Johnson and Miss Green need to be comfortable crossing the street knowing that those corner boys, they're going to help her cross the street opposed to rob her. You understand? We need to understand. I meet some people, they be like, my homegirl's son. I'm like, yeah, your homegirl's son, but guess what? You don't even give your little homegirl's son $1. You'd rather see him go out there and do something dumb. Or you don't police him, you don't talk to him. See, when a person tells me that they're a good man, I say, if you are a good man or you're a good woman, it is your job to police our communities. See, back in the days, I was so scared that Miss Johnson told my mom, because Miss Johnson gave me a whooping, then I got home and then my mama gave me a whooping. See, the thing is, we don't have those communities no more because you too busy want to go out there and fight Mrs. Johnson for checking your kid. So it's either A, Miss Johnson check him, or B, the police check him. So make a choice. Make a choice and make a stance. I'll take Miss Johnson checking my kid all day. Because in reality, I know Miss Johnson checking him because of the fact that she's trying to protect him. So this is the understanding. You know what I'm saying? My boy said people will spend the night sleeping on a sidewalk to get a pair of Jordans, but won't get up to better their lives. And I agree 100%. And it's sad because in reality, you cannot get mad at the fact that what's going on in our community when we're not doing anything about it. And Mimi, you're right. It does take a village. It takes a village. And me, I father a whole community. Anybody that knows me and know my shop and know my space and they deal with me on the regular, they know I love children and I will help build them. And I love people, period. Because I was taught to be antisocial. I was taught to not deal with people. I was taught to be standoffish. I was taught to not be teachable. I was taught not to be coachable. So those things hurt me through life because of the fact that I wasn't coachable. I wasn't teachable. I wasn't willing to learn. I wasn't willing to grow. And it hurt me for a long time because of the fact that I didn't see myself. And I didn't see how much potential I have because I was around a lot of dark clouds. See, just because you grew up in poverty don't mean you have to stay in poverty. Just because your mother didn't get a degree don't mean you don't have to get a degree. Just because you're older don't mean you have to go back and further your education. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I just seen Quavo, I think he's about 29. He just got his a high school diploma. And kudos to him, I'm proud of him. Because it's never too late to accomplish something that you feel on your bucket list that you should accomplish. You know, Brother Henry said, we need to educate ourselves of systematic racism so we can know how to move forward. I totally agree. Sharp said, I agree 100%, and this is why I blame the powerless, and the shame only serves you to hold you back. People like this can't blame no one but themselves. I agree, but we still can blame everybody because it takes a village. As let me read back who said that. Mimi said that earlier. She said it takes a village, and I agree. You know, sometimes we have to take on the world's problems as a people. You know, we have to take on the whole world's problems. We can't just be looking at, oh, that ain't my household, so it ain't me happening. But at the end of the day, when you understand that everything a black person do is a representation of you, and that's just reality, because you get depicted as them. You understand? So meaning, if a young black male or a young black woman or a middle-aged black woman do something, all black people are looked at as a certain way because of the fact of the decisions that they've made. And I hate to say that, but that's the narrative of the country. There's a video I'm gonna post. It showed the white woman, she was looting. And as she was looting, she walked out. They said an employee was going there taking her items out of the store on the news. But she was looting, you know? So, again, propaganda is propaganda. Don't be ashamed of the realities of life. You know, a lot of people don't see that we're judged very hard. And on top of it, we judge each other very hard. So it's not just them, it's also us. So a lot of the times we get mad at, oh, the world is this way and the world is that way. But in reality, what are you doing to change it? What are you doing to change it? You know, what are you doing to mold minds? What are you doing to elevate people? What are you doing besides just talking? You know, what are you doing? And I'm just asking the question. I'm not getting upset or anything. What are you doing? Are you willing to help? Are you going to be the reason that things change? Are you going to be the reason that things stay the same? Because if you keep putting a thought in someone's mind, of course it's going to stay that narrative. If you keep telling people like, you know what, it is what it is, it's going to stay like that. I hate them Debbie Downers. I can't stand the Debbie Downers who keep saying stuff like, it's going to always be like this. This is how it is. I'm like, you the person that's keep killing our people because of the fact that you keep talking about the negatives, but you don't talk about none of the positives. For all those negatives that you have to say, what about the positives? So at least have a balance. Yes, there are certain issues in our communities, but don't always be the person only talking about the issues. What about the pros? We have pros and cons, and every community has pros and cons. But yet and still, we tend to overly exert ourselves talking about the cons, but we don't talk about the pros. Let's change the narrative and start talking about more pros opposed to the cons. There will always be cons, no matter what. But at the end of the day, let's talk about more pros opposed to cons. There are a lot of good things in our community too. You know, the one thing I always notice, and I've seen it for a very long time, a lot of us are very loyal to failure. I've seen a lot of people drown physically, mentally, emotionally, because they were loyal to friends. Listen to that statement again. I've seen a lot of people physically, emotionally, spiritually, all around the board drown because of their friends. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of people, they say we're not loyal, but in reality we're loyal. But some of us are loyal to failure for too long. You understand? You cannot make somebody want something for themselves that they don't want for themselves. I can want everything for you, but if you don't want it for yourself, there's nothing I can do about it. And it is what it is. I can kick, punch, scream, yell, fight. Everything I can do to you doesn't mean you still got to go on and do what you got to do. It's a conscious choice to get up every day. See, sleep is a mindset. Tired is a mindset. You force yourself to be more tired than you truly are because of the fact that your body goes into a different slumber. You're too tired. You're not doing anything. And that's the problem. A lot of people, they're not trying to change our community. They're just trying to bring us more down. And again, there's enough of us out here that's doing a lot of negative for us to keep talking about negative things. Let's start talking about some positive things. Let's talk about that kid that just graduated from college. Let's talk about that girl that just bought a house. Let's talk about that single mother who child didn't end up incarcerated. Do you know that I think it's almost 80% of the jails, I think it's like 70-something% of the jails population are fatherless males? That's crazy, right? Is that a coincidence? Don't you know they breeding us as cattle for jails? You know, I remember when I was going through my little knucklehead days, I was told I'll be back. Knock on wood, I'm about to hit my 10th year. I haven't been back, and I don't never plan on going back because no one will ever make me a slave. Psychologically, I've been a slave long enough. And the reason why I was a slave because I engaged in a system that is not in my favor. You understand? Selling drugs and running around here in these streets, busting guns and all that is only going to put you at a deficit. You're not getting ahead with that mindset. It's not going to happen. And they're going to bury you in a system because that's what it's meant for. And that's reality. You know, I remember one time a correctional officer said, as long as there's niggas, he will always have a job. And I hate to say that, but it is true. But again, that word nigga is not a black term. Anybody can be a nigga because nigga is an ignorant person. And that's reality. By accepting that you're a nigga, you're basically calling yourself ignorant. So change the narrative. You're not a nigga if you're not, are you ignorant? Are you accepting of that? Are you willing to accept that? You know, change the narrative. Teach yourself how to live above the conditioning. It's disgusting how much conditioning going on right now. It's conditioning and conditioning and conditioning. It's so much conditioning. And a lot of people don't realize how conditioned they truly are. When you start seeing, when they tell you what's a new trend and you running to go do it, you are conditioned. You could be materialistically conditioned. You could be psychologically conditioned. You can be physically conditioned. There's a lot of different ways you can be conditioned. But a lot of people don't understand that. Some people are as a failure, and that's why they fail. How can you win with a loser's mindset? I'm just curious. How can you win thinking like a loser? How can you win following a loser? How? How? Pick up a book, my people. Learn who you are. Love who you are. Because nobody gonna tell you how valuable you are unless you know how valuable you are yourself. So let me say that statement again. No one will tell you the value of you more than you should tell yourself how valuable you are, my people. Love yourself. Know that that black dollar is a lot more powerful than you give power, and be conscious of where you spend it. Be conscious of where you spend your money. Again, them Chinese stores, they should be buying us a lot of things in our communities because we don't spend a lot of money at them Chinese stores. A lot. So when you see little, I don't want to be racist or sound racist, but little Ling Ling, who's in that restaurant cooking, when you see him walk across that college stage, just know that black dollar done put little Ling Ling through college. Now Ling Ling is a doctor. Now Ling Ling is a physicist. Now Ling Ling is a psychologist. Why? Because that black dollar done put that money in his pocket, in his family pocket, to put him in and get him an education. See, that's what I'm trying to say. We have to change the narrative, my people. We have to teach our children opposed to just telling them. Telling don't mean nothing. Actions speak louder than words. See, don't be a hypocrite. Don't tell your children to be kings and queens, but yet and still you walk around as a peasant and you don't care about your life. So you're not setting a good example. You telling them with your mouth, but you're not telling them with your actions. Actions always speak louder than words. And that's what people need to understand. Anybody can say anything in life, but talk is cheap. That's why most conversations can be purchased. Talk is cheap. That's why most conversations can be purchased. I buy most conversations because they're cheap. But the actions, that's hard to buy. It's hard to buy. grind. And you can't buy that in the can. You can't buy sacrifice. You can't buy consciousness. You got to just do it. That's an action. Understand? It takes action. And I tell my people, stand on the front lines with your people. Stop looking at the negatives and always look at the positives. Let's grow together. Let's build together. One more time, can I get a black fist for my people? I'm saying, let me get another black fist. Tell my people I love y'all. By any means, I stand with y'all. I'll never forget where I come from and where I've been. You understand? And I don't frown upon nobody that may be down today, because tomorrow they damn sure could be up. Anybody got any business questions? Hit my DM. Follow me on YouTube at Q's Corner, QS Corner. Follow me on Instagram at QDABoss516. Let me write that for y'all. So, QDABoss516. That's my Instagram. Follow my YouTube channel. Keep showing love, keep supporting. I appreciate everybody that keeps showing love. If y'all have any questions, matter of fact, before I go, let me ask you some questions. If y'all got anything y'all want to ask privately, you can hit my DM or you can hit my messenger. I damn sure gonna answer. Hollywood, funny, fake little corny business on this side. I'm all the way real. 10 toes down. I came in the earth, 10 toes down. I'll go out of this earth. Anybody else tell you otherwise is because they don't know me. And that's reality. You understand? Again, hate is a powerful, powerful, powerful word. Especially when you give it energy. You keep feeding hate energy, hate only grows. Hate don't go this way, hate goes up. If you keep feeding yourself with hate, you'll see the monster you manifestate. You can manifestate a crazy monster if you keep feeding yourself negative vibes, negative energy. Hate is a monster, and there's a lot of them. We need to weed them out, because at the end of the day, that's what's killing our community. Hate, jealousy, envy, regrets. Stop looking at somebody else's situation and be blessed and grateful about your situation. Because believe you me, there's somebody standing in some corner of this earth right now that will trade positions with you today. They will trade positions with you today. And I guarantee it. If you've traveled and you've been places, you know there are people right now who will trade to have your position right now. So what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is, be grateful for what you do have. Because believe you me, there's some people that don't even have a fraction of what you have. And they say there are people in the world that will take your worst day and that'll be their best day. And that's reality. When you travel and you see different places and different things, you start realizing there's more to life than just foolishness. Again, I tell my people I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's elevate each other. Let's work together. Let's stop being envious. Let's stop being jealous. Let's weed out the hate. That's the message today, is weed out the hate. Let's weed it all the way out and let's kill it, because that's not in our culture. We're not made from hate. We're made from love. I'm saying, I don't care if you was conceived through wedlock or if you was conceived through marriage. You was made through love. And I'm saying, at the end of the day, stop frowning upon your community and elevate your community. Build your community up. We could all see the things that are bad in our community. But it's bad when we overly indulge on the bad things and keep saying, oh, look at what's going on, and look what he's doing, look at what she's doing, but we don't talk about the good things. What about the good things? What about the good things? I watched a lot of people from my community get educated. I watched a lot of people from my neighborhood grow into great people. You understand what I'm saying? They say a rose can grow through concrete. I'm saying it takes the right fertilizer, the right sunlight, and the right water. So what I'm trying to say is, put the right people around you that keep nurturing you and keep help building you to the right people. I'm rather the, you know what I'm saying? And again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, follow me on Instagram at QDABoss516, QDABoss516. Let me write it one more time for those who didn't get it, QDA516. And follow me on YouTube at Q's Corner. I got some dope messages on there. I got the power of teamwork. I got becoming the you that you see in your dreams. I got a lot of good videos on there, man. Check them things out, man. I appreciate you guys. And again, united we stand, divided we fall. Together, we'll conquer all. Each day, put a brick, and you'll see your community grow. Stop being the person that's killing our community, man. Stop killing our community. We need to start putting more positive into the universe and say that we're going to grow, we're going to elevate, we're going to prosper, we're going to build from these days, we're going to learn from these moments. You know what I'm saying? You know, I promise you, I'm going to. I need to. You know, my story's crazy. You know, but again, you know, I definitely appreciate everybody that keeps hitting me like, yo, you know, yo, you gotta grow up. You know what I mean? Yo, you doing your thing. And listen, I'm only becoming the man that God has put me on earth to become. And I suggest you do the same and stop overly indulging on the money aspect. You know, there are a lot of people who aren't financially where they want to be today, right? But tomorrow, they can become that person. See, the difference is this. What's down today can be up tomorrow. But the thing is, you have to change the mindset to believe in yourself that you're capable of doing it, and it can happen. Less talk, more actions, more growing, more understanding, more knowledge, and more being around people that think like-minded. See, the thing is, you got to stay away from those people that push their negative agendas. Those people, see, my theory, I'm going to say this last thing before I get off of here. When somebody feel comfortable talking to you about somebody else, always ask yourself this. Why they feel so comfortable talking to you about me? Because of the fact they know that you're the kind of person that entertain that. That's why they always calling you about somebody else's business. Because they know you about that talk. And you like that talk. You understand? Stay away from the Debbie Downers. Stay away from them negative people. Stay away from them haters. Stay away from them demons, man. Get them casting demons out your life, man. Get them people that's rooting against you, that's rooting for you. So now you got to put all the people around you that's rooting for you. Who say to you, tomorrow's going to be a better day. And we got to start by doing the things today that make our tomorrow better. My people, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'm definitely going to keep doing this. You know, and at the end of the day, it's not what you see in yourself today is what you see in yourself tomorrow. You know, start looking at yourself as a better person and find things that make you happy. You know, because the reality of all things is a person can't make you happy. A person can only add to your happiness, but you have to already be happy. So listen to that statement again. A person cannot make you happy, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, whether it's friends, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. They cannot make you happy. People only add to your happiness. So learn that you are in control of your destiny and you are the driver of your car. So at the end of the day, you control the narrative of how happy you are. So stay around people that make you happy, and stop looking for people to make you happy. And understand that black dollar is more powerful than we give it credit. Learn what we spend our money on is definitely who we are. So let's start pushing our money towards these black hands that look just like you and I. I appreciate you, my people. Thank you always for the love. I'm trying my best. For all you know, I was a knucklehead before, and I agree with you all day, every day. Thank you so much. You have a good night.